Hi guys. Just want to do a wee voiceover with this. Just as you're reading it, I want you to pause it and have a wee look at it. I'll just jog along with these here, so I'll just help you out a wee bit. This is, if you see the counter of disinformation unit to the Hayden Barr's National Security Council. So they managed to get this was brought out because of COVID. This was all started because of COVID. This is how they were able to bring what they were doing behind the scenes out front and the guys of COVID. No, when people were saying, "Oh, you can't be doing this and this jag hasn't been tested. We've got no long term testing," and then they were all shut down. Disinformation it was called, and so it was already going on. Our freedom of speech was already under attack, but it's sort of, you'll see as you read on. Control, leverage. It's control over social media to counter disinformation. This is what it's all disinformation. I'm going to cover it after this video. Once this is finished, I'm going to cover it and explain it the way I see it, and so basically, our Labour Party went over to help the Biden. I knew about it, and I done a video going, "What are they doing going over there? We've got enough trouble over here," but this is what they've been up to. Censorship meeting, the British government to share its censorship playbook. A, a, a dedicated hub. I wonder who our dedicated hub is. I wonder who's in our dedicated hub in our British government doing this. The counter disinformation unit. Who's in the counter disinformation unit in the United Kingdom? So obviously we're talking about social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and the rest. You know the rest. You know what I mean? Got to be careful. But yeah, you know. And individuals working directly for the Prime Minister in the Cabinet Office. So I really want to know who these individuals are. Who decides what we are allowed to see? They decide what's misinformation, So who is that? Who are they? Have a look at that at the top, guys. Central Election Cell. Other people will know more about this than me. I'm not that clued up, but I think quite a lot of these will understand exactly what's going on here. See, whenever the election, the damage they can do if they're in control of this at elections is horrific, guys. It really is horrific because they're deciding what the public will hear and see. And if they say, "Oh, that's misinformation," like they did with the COVID jags, then they're going to be silenced, shut down, and they won't be allowed in any platforms. And you can see that they said that the punish platforms, the whole thing is the punish platforms. So, guys, we all know what this actually means. So I'm going to put it in plain English. Basically, it's the government who have created a unit, right? Because it's a unit. Let's look at this as it is. This is extremism. This is far left extremism. This is an attack on our freedom of speech. This is the government that's put a unit together of, believe you me, there has to be only far left people because they're the type of people that they need, because they know they're the ones with the agenda, so they know who to shut down. They know who to shut down and who to let speak. And that's who's control of your Facebook, your Instagrams, your Sun newspaper, Daily Mail, them all, every single one of them. The Daily Record in Scotland. None of them are untouched. Let me tell you that. No news company, no multimedia, Sky News, Channel 4, BBC. I don't even need to say the BBC. You know the crack with the BBC. They've a lot more worse crimes than what I'm talking about here with the BBC. But I'm talking about the top notch of everything that you know are going to be taking advice and orders. Because if they don't, you've seen it. It says it there. This is what they give the Biden administration. This is their playbook on how to deal with the public, right? Now, when they say misinformation, right, they're not saying lies. Now, if it was lies and like untruths, they would make it very clear. Misinformation is a way of saying we don't like what you're saying. Your truths are hurting us. So they call it misinformation. So when you hear the government say misinformation, you've got to hear and hear. It's truths we do not like you hearing about. So this has got so serious that there's strategies in play, right? There's people on payrolls getting paid an awful lot of money. And when we joined these social media platforms, we expected to be able to see some standard where the truth would be allowed. And we never once thought that any of these platforms that we give so much of our personal information to and are such a big part in everybody's daily lives would be allowed to even entertain anything like this or be controlled by a government. But the government, as you see, are making legislation to punish their words, social media platforms that don't do what they say, you know? And you've got to understand now, if you didn't understand this, please go back and read it again, you know? I don't mind if you want to, whatever you want to do with it. My stuff, guys, you're more than welcome to do what you want with it if you're going to educate and bring the truth to people. But, it's really, really serious because they are the building blocks of our life right now. Social media platforms, people rely on them. You rely on Google. I'm going to Google it. I've found evidence, my own factual evidence, that there's things that Google are holding back. There's only one side that they're prepared to promote, and that's the left side. They won't touch anything to do with Tommy Robinson or anything to do with anybody that supports Tommy Robinson. Most platforms are now shutting people down for even mentioning his name. And then, with that being said, we all know that every single independent journalist, no matter how big they are, all around the world right now, Tommy's going from platform to platform to platform, interview after interview after interview. I don't think there's a man on this planet that's been interviewed so many times on so many different podcasts by so many different types of people. There isn't. I can't think of one. And this is the man that the government are bringing to us and saying that this man is racist. You should not follow this man. You should not listen to this man. They're telling us it's misinformation. That's what they're saying. So now we know misinformation is the truth that they don't want us to hear. And that's terrifying. If they're going to control what we know as serious and as strictly as they're going to do, they're no better than China. They're no better than South Korea. And that is the level that we are now at, guys. We're now at that level where we're being seriously controlled and restricted. And anything that we want to say or talk about or support or follow. And, when you've got evidence that the person that they're trying to shut down is absolutely a really good person and he stands for everything I believe in and everything my family believe in, my friends believe in, everybody I meet in the day to day life believe in the same values. is Mr. Robinson, and we need to start like seriously asking some serious questions because our country cannot survive any longer being attacked on so many fronts. Not only are we being attacked by the population growth at the minute, by the constant flow of illegal immigration that the government are refusing to return or put back out because we don't have the room. And we haven't had the room now for a good few years. So that's 3 years or so of no having any room and it rising. And then we've got hundreds and hundreds coming in every day. In some cases, there's almost 1,000 people that they know of coming in a day. And that's just what they know of. That's not lorries and people smugglers that are just filling the back of vans up to £3,000 a head, 40 people in a van, maybe £5,000 a head, maybe more, you know. So many ways for people to make money through this system because the money that they spend to get here, they're going to get back through benefits. And that's the reason why they're doing it. Um, they all know that we're struggling with our houses. They all know our NHS. You know, well, people, enough people are talking about it. Our NHS is is, is crumbling. Waiting lists, doctors, everything. You've got to wait hours and hours, days and days, weeks, in some cases a month to see a doctor. Weeks just to get a phone call. You know, it takes you maybe over an hour just to get through, and it's driving people nuts. Nobody can claim for the right benefits because nobody knows what benefits they're entitled to. I'm talking about the working class, the most vulnerable. And then when they go to try to claim their benefits, they're faced with people that they can't understand on the phone and people hanging up on them and, you know, trying to create passwords with so many characters. It's just unbelievable, you know, and then forgetting that password and forgetting their login. And, you know, everything is an absolute nightmare for working class people. But yet the people that come into this country illegally eventually get the forms filled out for them, you know, by NGOs, lifted and laid, given credit cards, SIM cards, hotel rooms. You know, they're breaking into the country and they're getting a hotel room. Guys are saying that the policies aren't English anymore and they're getting a cell. It's like, and then on top of all that, we now find out our government have got a campaign, like a proper unit, strategy unit to control what we hear, what we are told, what we can search for, what information we can find about what we need to know. They're controlling it. And it's that good that the Biden slash Harris lot had them over. Mind, we knew they went over. We weren't sure what was going on. You know what I mean? We were like, why? Because I done a video. Why is our Labour politicians going over there? Got enough problems over here helping the Biden administration. And that's all starting to fit. We're all, it's there you go. So these are all facts. This isn't misinformation. This is facts. This is the truths of the truth that they're trying to hide. But they can't hide it like that. It's like this is government policy. They can't, you know, there is stuff that we will never know. But a couple of things we need to look into: who's running these units, and I'm not going to call them anything else because, as far as I'm concerned, we're going right down the communist line here, and then with socialist parties and stuff like that. This is serious. This is really, really serious. We've never, this country has never experienced any kind of anything like this. We've never ever had anything like this. This has always been a really free country where people can express their opinions. And one of our main or top common law in this world, in this country, in this Great Britain, is that we have the right to complain about our government. It was put in place so governments couldn't come into power and take over and get rid of us and replace us with another other people from other nations. That's what it's there. It's for rogue government. So in case a rogue government gets in, because let's say the nation are fed up with one particular party and refuse to vote, and let's say 18 million people don't even bother voting, you know, let's say that so many million people had voted at not long come into the country, you know, and let's say the opposition government was riddled with far left extremism. So That's why we have the common laws in this country: the right to protest, the right to complain, and the right to have an opinion. Nobody can ever take that away from you. But we're not getting the rights to nothing. We're getting our common rights taken away from us. And not only that, they're making sure that we don't know what's actually going on in the country. Because when somebody comes out and tells you exactly what's going on, they get on top of it and say it's misinformation. You know, Tommy Robinson is misinformation. So let's just stick to what we know, what we all know, so everybody can understand this. As far as the government are concerned, Tommy Robinson is misinformation. Everything Tommy says is misinformation because it's the misinformation that they're attacking. It's the misinformation, the disinformation, whatever you want to call it, that all these platforms are being forced to uphold. So that's why Tommy Robinson isn't on Facebook. That's why Tommy Robinson isn't on TikTok. That's why Tommy Robinson doesn't have an Instagram. That's why Tommy Robinson hasn't got a YouTube channel. What's he done? Tell me what's he done to deserve all that? And that's what our Labour government are doing. The Tories did it as well, but the Labour government, this is this is really bad. People don't realise how bad this is, you know. And I'm going to be truthful. I am now seriously thinking about moving. I am, and say what you want. I've been through hell through my life, absolute hell at the hands of the government. I was made a ward of court at the age of 8. They were in control of me from then, and it was bad. You know, if you follow me on YouTube, I talk about it. You know, and I'm not going to put my child through that. You know, like I've said in my other videos, the predators were different back in the day, but the victims aren't. My daughter's going to be working class, so she is just like me and everybody I know. You know, and I want to make sure she's protected. And I'm sorry, but our kids aren't protected in the working class areas no longer. We can see that down in England, you know. And you know, I'm not even English, and I know what it's like for some people down there. I know that there's been thousands of children affected in one in single just in one city. You know, I'm not talking. You know, if it's this is the most dangerous time for our most vulnerable in this country I've ever seen. I'm talking about our elderly, and I'm talking about our young. Anybody that's in care right now, going through children's homes, kids from broken families, families that are dying with cancers, families that are alcoholics, families that are drug users. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I know how vulnerable these kids are, and I know the dangers that face them because nobody's protecting them. Our police can't even go into certain areas; they're getting chased out. So this is very, very serious. And please go back and read that again. Okay. Um, I don't even know if I'll be able to get this up on TikTok or anyway. I don't know. You know, I really don't know. I'm going to try, but it is what it is. Thank you to Unite the North for bringing this to my attention. Please pass this on, guys.